What's up guys, it's Talon here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at how you can improve your Solo Cash Cup performance by analyzing one of EU's best all-time pros, and that is Hen, and we're going to go over how he dominated the NAE Solo Cash Cup. But before I get into this VOD review guys, if you do enjoy my content or find what I'm telling you helpful, please drop a like in this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. Also, I recently just got my supporter creator code in the Fortnite item shop. If you wish to support me that way, use code Talon.fn, #ad. But without further ado, let's just jump right in. Alright guys, as you can see on the screen we have Hen's POV. He is actually going to end up placing third in the NAE Solo Cash Cup. So we're going to see some high ping W keying and why it is so important to play angles even if you are not on high ping. Let's take a look at this first game. Some good pre-fight damage. He's landing lazy, not a lot of mats, off spawn. Gets the finish on the opponent, he just lasered. Now you're going to sit here sitting on a right hand peak. And as you can see, incredibly laggy, 60 ping, not going to be as able to take walls. He's just trying to break through, spray this opponent out, playing very slow, angles, height, making sure he blocks himself off. Very, very important when you're W keying, not on your server. 34 crack shield. And you're going to see him try to take wall here. 27, gets into a bloom battle, misses some shots. Smartly takes his minis, gets a right hand peek, finally gets there. That's such a good angle too. It's protected. It's like an archer peek, and then you see like the Noah Riley type edit. Let's just take a look. Something that you can definitely implement into your gameplay is taking this peek. One, it's really safe. It's right hand. It's elevated also, but making this nice wide edit when you're on this layer. Notice how he also ducks back while the edit is finishing, so that he can't get return damage. He ducks back and he hits the very, very weak opponent, ends up finishing the fight. Let's go into the next engagement. Hen is absolutely hilarious in this video, by the way, as well. He says some absolutely funny stuff. Firebow, the new broken meta, unfortunately, it does 15 tap damage. You can go almost 100 to 0 instantaneously. A horrendous update in my opinion. So right here, gets right on the wall. And that is one of the worst things about being on high ping, is when someone opens up and you recognize it and you throw your ramp in there, that you're still going to, even though the ramp's there, you're still going to get hit with return fire. Only hit for 28. Fortunate for Hen right there. He was also on a left-hand peak, also probably not the best setup. Right here, really nice. Flips the ramp, 54. This is a right-hand peak now. Gets the ramp in. That's very, very, very nice. Good pickaxe bait right there. He's just recognizing good crosshair placement. He gets the cone in. He could Mitro Classic in. Pickaxe baits. The opponent edits out.
And then runs into me. What a wonderful player, man. It's so predictable.
He said, what a wonderful player, man. So predictable. That's what you have to do when you're fighting these opponents. Great example of pre-fight damage. You're going to want this in all of your engagements. We now hit them for 35 4 times. We're going to be confident going in. You can see how laggy it is. He's kind of playing up tight on the wall. Look at this crosshair placement. Trying to pickaxe bait, trying to get the opponent to make a play out. Unfortunately, these fights on high ping also, because you can't get walls, just tend to just extend a lot more, and everything's laggy. Just being very, very cautious, not really even 50-50 in. We don't see like a lot of Mitro Classics. We don't see a lot of AR pressure. I was a little bit surprised not having as much weapon pressure, especially with a scar right here. Nice little crack right there, breaks the wall on someone who's not even has all their sides protected. Good right-hand peek right here. Good reload management as well. He jumps through, catches the opponent healing out in the open.
Thank you.
He says, thank you. That's the freest kill ever. Now we're going into an end game. We're scuffed on mats, 200. We're in wood, so we're probably going to get pressured a bunch. Him being ahead, I don't know what Cash Cup he's playing where there's 6 people first moving, but very fortunate lobby. Maybe started super late. Gets an easy elimination right there. Sprays out height that isn't well connected. Gets elimination right there. He's going to get dinked from the bottom guy. The last guy dies to fall. Doesn't get the elimination. No mats. Trying to get a reload off, and this is going to be a GG's. Not much you can do. No mats. You'll take a second place with 7 kills every Cash Cup, I promise. Even though he's frustrated.
Of course, the guy gets the kill as well, and I get pumped from the guy in height. Like, it's me every single time.
That's how almost every player always feels. Now we're going into an off-spawn fight here in Pleasant Park. 130 crack with a blue pump on someone playing using the rat strategy. We're going to see some excellent rat strategies from Hen here, and this is incredibly important when you are on high ping. You need to have free shot opportunities that don't involve ping, taking walls and all that stuff, and you're going to see a good example of it here. Holding a peak, he ends up... He's saying that. Now this is going to be probably one of the biggest brain plays. Misses the bow, but does a great job right here. Pressuring through. 52 white. And then now this is where I was a little bit surprised. He didn't have as much air pressure, but notice not be able to get walls. He reloads. He's going to absolutely 200 IQ debate this guy. Good attempt right here. Gets it. Spray through. See, notice how it looked like the cone was placed. Didn't end up having it. He reloads. Now this is going to be so intelligent and something I've never thought to do. And I haven't seen any about it. He's going to make it seem like he has run away out and he is going to hide behind the stair. Look at that crosshair placement. Wow. Really, really intelligent way to get a refresh. And this now the games are much more stacked. He calls this the Hen Classic. Always gets AR kills in endgame. Got a first moving here. Good amount of mats. That's a pretty favorable zone. We just had to go up on elevation. He played this very interesting with him being ahead. And having no movement, Harpoon, no surprise. Stack games, Harpoon, incredibly important in a movement-less meta. Good 120. Attempts to get piece control, but he's going to actually try and track this guy. And so what I think, him waiting for in the back, I think because he was so far ahead, he wanted to let everyone build for him in front and ahead. You're going to see how very little mats he uses on this rotation, all these people that use these mats. So kind of an interesting little bit of strategy. He almost falls there. I don't believe that was intentional yet. As you can see him try to get back up. Looking a little bit back. We're still healthy-ish on mats. 304 for builds. See someone tarping in wood. Hits it for a little bit. Good quick reset. Now he's backside of Storm. Very fortunate to get a pull back as well. I don't think he does as well this game. Now look how low ground is free. If you have mats playing, and you're going to see him kind of do the same thing. He's going to sit here at front side and just wait and wait and wait and wait and let things develop. Now he's going to go for a peek right here. This opponent actually just mollywops him for 150. But opponent doesn't cycle in for some reason. He's fortunate. He's going to sit here. He gets that front side zone, and he sits here, waits to back, and he lets everything develop for him. But he's on dead side. It just drops the ultimate. Using all of his mats that he has left. Good AR pressure, then to reset the wall. Get a nice little peek right there. Good crosshair placement. Gets a free elimination. He's going to go in. Harpoon. Didn't really need to harpoon it, but he ends up doing it anyways. Gets a nice little one pump on this opponent. Shambles low ground as well. And so we're chilling on mats. Now this is... We're 5-0-1. It's really, really good. The zone we're in, he grabs med kits. A lot of med kits. Look how he's playing this. Again, he's just kind of recircling tarps. He's going to get far ahead here. Building is hard. Create a lot of space so we can pop med and big and med kit. Then to keep trying to cut off space. Notice all the space he's claiming down here on low. This is so he can get his heals off. No matter which zone pulls, I believe this is going into night. So he's going to be able to keep... He's going to be able to pop this many no matter what. That's exactly what ends up happening. He sees his opponent shambles on low ground along with him. But he's not shambles. He has 400 mats. Gets a free elimination on that opponent. And low ground is actually great in solos in my opinion. I say when you have materials, low ground is fantastic. You get all the shambles refreshes. You're usually healthier than most of the people. So yeah, great job here of just kind of methodically pushing through all of his old builds and tarps. Getting ahead as much as he can as well. Still healthy on mats. 500 in night zone. Making sure he blocks off every way that he can. Getting pressured, not too concerned about it. He drops Harpoon for the med kits, as I should have mentioned previously. Now this is a clinic on how to play low ground. Wait for this opponent to drop down. Ends up not doing it. Opponent psychos in. Tries to get space around him. Cracks. Beautiful right hand peek right there. Misses a shot. But ends up finishing it off because he's already so weak. So has around 16 builds. This is kind of what you sometimes have to do on the low ground, is you want to claim as much space above you as you can to prevent an edit down. And hopefully you get a 50-50. Now I was curious if he would go for a med kit play, but I don't think he could. That's what I was maybe thinking after he got that refresh. 64. Ducks down. Very, very nice. He's going to shoot down the opponent. The opponent had whites, had floppers.
Are you kidding me? I tabbed out.
He said he tabbed out. Which unfortunate. Now, again, this is what I call very, very intelligent rat-like gameplay. When you're on 90 ping, he's actually on 60. He says he's on 90. Getting important impacts in games. Now, this is, again, why I think Hen is incredibly intelligent. Not only... So he's going to kill Kanata here. But the way he's going to do it is he's going to place this cone up here to get Kanata to focus and think, oh my god, there's an opponent sitting here waiting in this cone. Notice how Kanata's like cautiously approaching the cone, seeing if... And then so he goes to upgrade, and you're going to listen to Hen's reaction right here.
Oh.
He laughs like it's, you know, and then he realizes it's Peace Data, so it's Kanata. So, pretty funny reaction. But smart. We've seen two very intelligent, just kind of like scummy, campy type plays, which I think are incredibly necessary when you're not playing on your servers to get the things that you need. He's 225. He goes up. There's more space up. A lot less congestion. Now, standing next to that zipline is dangerous. A lot of people will accidentally take it. Another common strategy is when you get into first moving to make two boxes. Create a lot of space. Gives you more angle opportunities to get refreshes. He's not horrendous on that. About 500 total. Harpoon, not a surprise. Pull zone, 37. Doesn't really cycle or overaggress for anything. Because he can make rotate. So not too worried. Gets to a nice... Wants to break down. More clear. A little ramp is very important. Protects his head. Continues to drop down. Now, I think this is just a little bit scuffed. He's now looking back for picks, and I think he falls on accident. Very, very smart. Right there, holding the ramp. Notice, look at these angles again. Look like always protected, looking for someone to come up and challenge him. Doesn't end up working out that way, but that's alright. Nice little 30 crack. He's sitting here waiting behind builds. He still has 300 mats. He full boxes in. He's going to drop here to a layer of a ton of congestion. He uses his brick right there to make sure that no one can come in and steal this tarp away from him. This opponent up dropping down. And he's going to do the same thing, right? Where he's so far ahead, he doesn't have a ton of mats. He's going to sit here and wait towards the back and just kind of camp it out. Sits here and waits and waits. All these people are getting eliminated. 200 mats, and then he decides to drop. Gets into an old tarp. Now this is really smart. His opponent's breaking through the storms 105, and then lets him break through. Ends up getting the finish. He gets another med kit. Now I almost thought he was going to die here. Fortunate that there's not a crazy amount of congestion. Now he has siphon mats. He's going to make sure he blocks off. He gets super ahead in the storm, and he can pop med. On all these placement points, by him sitting there waiting simply to the back and getting that important refresh, he ends up conserving a lot of mats, getting a lot of placement points. Now he only has 7 builds to work with, but again, just patience, waiting to back zone. It's an important crack. Gets a kill onto Shinken, another EU pro, and now he's gifted high ground, and all of a sudden he's in a 1v1v1. Gets ahead, he's going to spray. And then it turns into a 1v1. We see the use of the dub being picked up. It's great to see another solo cash cup. He does this top 5 placement without really mobility or with the use of the dub. Really, really good job right there. Look, 101 in 4 games. Really great stuff. Game 6. Get a little aim assist. Look at this right here as well. Boom.
Thanks for the HP back, my friend. Or he greased me.
Now this is a good example of... So this is definitely an example of getting griefed. Hen's looking a little lost. Not hitting his shots, looking at his peak control, and then immediately decides to disengage, right? You don't have to.
Nice, I'm getting grief from both sides now.
Listen to him right here. This is very important. I'm just going to waste my mats and I'm not going to die. That is the holy grail of solo. You need to waste your mats in sticky situations to make sure you can last as long as you possibly can. Gets a big right here. Now this is incredibly intelligent. The reaction's very smart, but he lets that opponent make that psycho play, and he reads. The opponent takes the cone, and he makes the edit up. Hen knows that, and boom, 180. Great crosshair placement to the head. 1 pumps. Now we got a max pull here. We don't have mobility. Make sure he covers off his angles, and look, he sits kind of towards the back. Now this is going to be a very nice bow shot as we see. Oh my. Very, very nice. Doesn't even go for the mats. He's 4-1-1. It's like, oh, look for it. He's playing incredibly open. Some towards the back tart, but him playing towards the back is actually benefiting him quite a bit. He finally gets hold right here. All of these builds kind of develop for him. So he doesn't really have to waste a lot of the mats. He just kind of has got to find open slots, open holes. He goes, nah, I'm not going to focus that. Cracks this opponent to 1 HP. Who's going through. He comes from the bottom. We saw this in the Benji Fishy VOD review. Makes it so easy. Gets some floppers. Now this is where things get incredibly scuffed. What ends up happening. He gets away from that though, smartly. He knows where all that open congestion is. He takes that 1 flopper. He's gifted with zone and he wants to drop down a layer. And then cut off space. Sketch tarping or solo tarping. He gets ahead and he looks back. Kind of the same exact thing. He plays to the front side of zone and he sits here and he waits and he waits and he waits and he waits. Just a very interesting... Yeah, I was wondering why he sat there like that. He said he's just tapped out. You can optimize your PC to where you know that. I play on controller and I make it where I can't tap out. He gets in ahead using his mats. Look how many mats he has. He's still around 500 builds. Creates a lot of space on low ground. This is a left-hand peek. It makes it, you see it's really difficult to see that opponent. Gonna sit here, drop down, 20. Now Hen's got to be thinking if I get a little ramp, super important, protects him from height. Make sure to cover up his top. Gets a look back elimination. Gets an opponent that's no mats on his own builds. Kills the guy who actually ended up playing second. That's Cody. Here's opponents breaking in. Getting in through this house. Unfortunately with those 2 eliminations. Nice, gets another free one. Now here's this opponent psycho in. And just decides to smartly go through. Trying to pressure this guy off his lair. He's hitting the diving board. Which is unfortunate. Good attempts. Oh my goodness, he almost recognizes. That's just understanding where that opponent's going to go, looking for peaks. That just, you can tell the predictive power of Hen right there. Now, it's a 1v1v1. He still has mats to play with. And now, notice in this 9th, he's actually deciding to stay ahead. Most of the, I think one opponent's in the building and one's above. So he just kind of breaks mats and makes sure he covers what he can. Now, this opponent drops down 156 and then gets AR'd to death. Unfortunate. Now we're going to see, again, another rat-like type play, which I think is incredibly important if you're on high ping. We see it throughout. Sees an opponent walk in. We've hit him for 170. Now we're almost going to throw this engagement. And this kind of happens sometimes when you're just chasing. Notice, like, you're so excited. You whiff a whole bunch of SMG shots. Can't really get in. You're on high ping. You're chasing. The opponent's doing a good job of running. Now right here, he has a Metro Classic. The opponent edits through.
Oh my god, thank god, man.
He almost dies, goes down to 50 HP, but clutches up. 36, so not incredibly stacked. He's not as graded for mats. He's 3-1-2. He can still make rotate. Cracks him for 100. Gonna spray through. And the opponent gets out. Tons and tons above surge. Have some big names in there. Jays. Waits through, and kind of the same thing. He's like, okay, I'm gonna sit to the back, and I'm just gonna find all these old tarps, all these people building for me, and I'm just gonna go through. Now this gets a little bit scuffed. He finds someone who's actually behind him. Creates a lot of space. He's 3-1-0. This is by far probably the most scuffed situation he's been. Make sure to cover off that side.
What is going on?
He says, what is going on? He's just kind of hugging that backside of the tarp. Not really too concerned about getting in just of yet. So missed a ton of missed shots, unfortunately, right there.
Where's my bullets going? In his ass or what?
Where my bullets going in his ass or what? So we're only at 12 builds, and we're getting pressure from height because we're in wood. This is what I feel like happens a ton of the times if you play back in tarps. You just get griefed by everybody, but you can't win them all. Obviously, can't place top 5 in all of them. So just wait to the back of tarp, drop through, use what little mats we have, try to get in here. 35 white, and he gets the pick off right here. Make sure he gets the mats. We get a nice little siphon refresh. Another refresh right here. Someone who's also pretty shambles. Looks like 2 things worth of siphon mats. So we've made this into the top 10. We use the dub. Now this is a great example of understanding game sense. He literally regrets using the dub shotgun, and here's why. He's on a second layer where height is up there. Now if you're on height, your biggest threat to you in this season is the dub shotgun. So what's going to end up happening? We're not the greatest on mats, and this guy from up top is going to just press through the living hell. Hits for 35, and it's just not going to stop.
Yeah, bro, I'm so triggered. Of course, because that guy...
Listen to his
I
explanation.
had to kill the guy with that shotgun. I used it once, and then he saw that I had it, so he focused me. Oh, I shouldn't have used it.
Smart. I don't think it's a bad usage. That's unfortunate, but it's actually a good play by the hype player. That's just something to talk about in general. That's not really, I wouldn't say that's like a mistake from Hen, because using it to get in is not a thing. That's just smart from the hype player. It's like in previous season, you focus teams that have RPG, right? You focus person who has caddy launcher. You want to get those people, those threats away from you. So that's the point of it for sure. So just a good recognition there. It's like, yeah, the dub shotgun is great, but sometimes smart players, especially in those later games of the Solo Cash Cup, are going to capitalize and try to take you out because you have that advantage and you're their biggest threat to height. But overall, we saw a lot of just kind of what I would like to say 200 IQ, very incredibly like smart plays. We saw the ramp behind. We saw him just camping the upgrade person at Craggy, and that's very important in my opinion for getting that one elimination. That's going to get you a ton of surge for solos. That's going to get you the refreshes that you need going into endgame when you're on high ping, and W King doesn't really become an option past the first and second game where you're facing really good players who are on significantly better ping. And Hen, probably in my opinion right now, the most complete, best overall player in the game, has been the most consistent. Definitely last season was by far his season. Has played incredibly well this season, of course, as you see, placing top 5 in a NAE Solo Cash Cup. Great stuff. We saw a lot of knowledge of the rotation. The biggest thing I saw in that rotations game is what he likes to do is he likes to sit the back, get to front side, in the middle of the rotate, and sit to backside and let all... So he gets to front, and then everything else, he waits, and so all those people that are still continuously going allows him to develop just a lot of just congestion and protection that he used pretty well, which I was just incredibly surprised. I always feel like if I sit there towards the back, I just get lasered by kids holding in front. That didn't happen very much to him. He got even tagged up only once or twice in the back. So really great rotational knowledge. I really liked it. It was a different type of strategy and just a different whole VOD review in general with him being on such high ping, playing a very passive aggressive, if you will. But that is going to do it for today's VOD review, guys. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.